Samaarambam Nithyanandeshwari Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Sarvanyapita Yajamans, Samajis, Satsangis, Sri Mahans, Mahans, visitors, viewers, sitting with us all over the world through Nithyananda TV, Facebook Live, YouTube Live and two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha all over the world. I'll enter into Kena Upanishad. Please recite the first verse along with me. Keneshitam patati preshitam manakena pranaha pratama praiti yuktaha. It is not that only Gurukul kids should chant. You can also recite. Keneshitam preshitam manaha kena pranaha pratamaha praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshuh shrotram kabudevo yunakti. Listen, reciting this sacred verses intensely makes these sacred truths part of your biomemory. That is the reason the recitations play such an important, powerful role. The sacred truths revealed in this verse, by whom willed and caused does the mind go towards its object? It means even before cognizing illusory you question even the parts of illusory you. Listen, even the question, who am I, has certain level of presumptions, assumptions. You assumed you are a whole and you need to find out who you are. Here, before even that assumption, Upanishad asks you to enter into pure questioning. Understand? First time when you start experiencing inner image, outer image, life image. First time when you start experiencing the root pattern, the root incident, root image. Listen carefully. Root pattern, root incident, root image. If you have false presumption, you are a whole entity, you will allow the root pattern to happen. If you have pure questioning, you will allow the enlightenment to happen. I know this generation may feel pure questioning at the age of 4, 5, before 7 is not possible. How is it going to be useful for us? No, understand? Because for last few generations, pure questioning was not possible throughout the life. They lost pure questioning throughout the life. That is why now it feels pure questioning before 7 is very difficult. Now, this generation, when you guys start pure questioning, even during some time of your life, your next generation, your DNA, your extension will feel pure questioning before 7. Pure questioning is all about the level of Kundalini Shakti, the level of mitochondria, cell energy, which comes to baby from father and mother. If the father and mother are seekers, that DNA gets into the baby. Baby will never have, child will never have root pattern. Even the first time he is put into powerlessness, he will not assume he exists, he will not create the inner image, outer image, life image based on his illusory false I. He will only start looking into by whom willed and caused does the mind go towards its object. Means, who is creating inner image in me? By whom directed and united with which does the first vital life energy and chief cause comes forth towards its activities? Means, who is creating my outer image? Understand? Each line, the first line is the action of creating inner image. If you don't ask the first line, your inner image will be created. If you ask the first line, you know what is the action creating the inner image. Listen carefully. Inner image is willed and caused by something which empowers the mind to go towards its object. Listen carefully. First time in your body, when mind moves towards some object, that movement is called inner image. It will create an inner image in you. If you allow that movement without being awareness, without being aware of it, you will create inner image. In that very root, if you question, Kene shitam patati preshitam manakena pranaha pratama praiti yuktaha. You caught the inner image before it gets formed. You caught the outer image before it gets formed. Understand? When your mind moves towards its first object, it creates inner image. Inner image is the first object your mind holds on. That is the first object your mind holds. When you do not understand it is the first object, unfortunately you think it is subject. Object being misconstrued as subject, and whole life spent on protecting that object which you misconstrued as subject is life. For a normal man, life goes in the delusion of protecting a misconstrued subject. Inner image is actually object, but poses as subject, ghost. He is not part of you, but he makes you believe he is source of you. And you go on living to protect that stupid fellow. It is like you sell all your wealth, you sell all your time, you sell all your energy, you sell everything. Your inner image is an object, not subject. The first inner image is your mind's movements to its first object. Because it happens so quickly, in such an overwhelming moment of your life, before you even become aware of the various spare parts you brought with you. It is like all the kids in India will start their life, play, trying to repair the old alarm clock. I don't know whether it is a standard rule. At least in my village I have seen. All the kids, they will somehow pick up one old repaired alarm clock, they will open, and finally they will put it in a plastic carry bag. After opening, they will not know how to assemble. Then they will put it in a plastic carry bag, take it to the shop to assemble it. I have done that. I know many middle class Indian kids have done it. When you open it and throw it, only then you know. Now you don't even have a count of all the spare parts you have. After birth, before even you know all the spare parts you have, when powerlessness attacks you, the first movement of your mind to first object, inner image, is misconstrued as subject. See the speed with which you approach the inner image and the powerlessness which you show to inner image. Please understand, with anybody you show powerlessness, he will try to take over you. Understand? Everyone will want you to show your powerlessness to them. Only Guru wants to see always powerful. Guru wants to see you always powerful. He neither wants you to have powerlessness nor wants you to show your powerlessness to him. Other than Guru, everyone wants you to show yourself powerless to them, because only when you show yourself powerless to them, only when you are powerless in front of them, they can take over you. But with Guru, only when you are powerful, I can take over you. Only when you are powerful, I can manifest through you. There is no taking over in guru-disciple relationship. There is only manifestation. Do not have anybody around you who entertains your powerlessness, who all the time wants to see you powerless. Understand, even though you enjoy their attention, love, care, all the stupidity, it is like giving Coca-Cola to a diabetic patient. Yes, it will be very tasty, but poison. Even if you are given neem juice, which is bitter, go to a person who gives you medicine. If you are diabetic, even if it is bitter like neem juice, go to a person who gives you medicine, not to a fellow who gives you very tasty but poison. Understand? In the life, if you decide not to entertain anybody who wants you to be powerless or who supports your powerlessness, who directly or indirectly enjoys your powerlessness, if you cut all those relationships and throw them out, that itself will solve 90% of your problems. Because they again and again engage the powerless part of you. Understand? A vegetarian guy will engage only with the milk of cow, and he will be engaging only milking the cow. A non-veg guy will be engaged with the blood of the cow, with the muscles of the cow, with the meat of the cow. People who are engaged with your powerlessness, directly, indirectly interested in your powerlessness, are meat eaters, life eaters, human meat eaters. They will eat you. Even if they are too sweet for behavior, and they will usually be. They will be very sweet. That is the way they destroy people. How Saguni was so sweet to Kauravas. The Saguni sweetness to Kauravas. I don't know how many of you know. Saguni actually is dead against Kauravas. He took a vow to destroy whole Kaurava Vamsa. Because his sister was kidnapped and married to a blind man, and whole life she has to live blindfolded, he decided to take revenge. He destroyed the whole Kauravas, but everyone from Duryodhana to the last, actually they are not 100, 101. There was one daughter and 100 sons. All the 101 believed he is the most sweetest Mama Shri, Mama Shri. In your life also you will have lot of Mama Shris who engage only with your powerlessness and who expect you constantly to be powerless. Because more you are powerless, more they can support you. More you are powerless, more they will be overpowering you. More you are powerless, they will occupy you. During the powerlessness, the speed with which you approached your inner image, he overpowered you and declared himself as you. The misconstrued subject, object is being misconstrued as subject, and that being believed as your identity. Listen. That being believed as your identity. The mind, when it approaches the inner image with tremendous powerlessness, inner image tells, don't worry, I will take care of you. And then suddenly he says, I am you, I am everything, come on. Sad part of this whole thing is, throughout the life, you never discover it. You go on serving this fool who occupied you illegally, cosmic illegally, and declaring his authority over you illegitimately as your inner image. Understand? The earlier you discover your inner image is not you, better for you. Keneshitam padati preshitam manakena pranaha prathama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshushrotram kavudevo yunakti. If you ask the question, by whom willed and caused does the mind go towards its object, you will not create inner image. By whom, directed and united with which does the first vital life energy, chief cause, comes forth towards its activities, means that's the first outer image you declare. If you don't ask this question and being in slumber during satsang, whole life is a satsang. If you don't ask this question, you will create outer image. If you ask this question, you will create graceful being. I tell you, the inner image is the root cause of all your pains. Outer image is root cause of all your sufferings and failures. All your sufferings. Listen carefully. Pain is when you are failing in. Failure is when you are paining with everything else outside. If you experience suffocation within you, it is pain. If you experience around you, it is failure. It is suffering. Inner image generates pain, outer image generates suffering. If you ask this question, Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. At whose will does this speech gets activated and speaks? Understand? The first inner image, outer image, life image is the time speech gets activated. The verbalization gets activated. This verse is all about the root pattern. When you catch it, when the root pattern develops, you will rise as an enlightened being. At least now, bring yourself to pure questioning. You can manifest. Sadashiva instead of Sadashava. Instead of always being dead, you can manifest always being Shiva. Keneshitam patati preshitam manakena prana pratama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. At whose will does the speech gets activated and speaks, enlivened and directed by what? Luminous divine power. Indeed, do the eyes and ears engage in their functions. It means how the life image manifests. Actually, outer image only. When it starts manifesting, it's life image. If these questions are asked at right time, you are an incarnation. At least, if you ask these questions now, you will be an enlightened being. If you ask these questions at right time, you will be an incarnation. If you ask now, time will be made to be right and you will become an enlightened. Understand, a good news is once the root pattern is created, you always function. You always function only based on the root pattern. Don't ever think some other suffering is added to you after that. No. If you think, oh, the biggest suffering I am going through in my life started at the age of 11. No, you are wrong. Root pattern is the biggest suffering. The root pattern is the biggest suffering. Anybody understands this verse completely, internalizes it, you will have the power to complete your root pattern and you can help anybody to complete their root pattern. This should be the introduction to Hinduism. Completing the root pattern is the first initiation, should be given from the Hindu tradition. Because Hindus attend first things first. Completing with the root pattern. Understand? This question is actually asking, who am I who is asking who am I? It is not just who am I, it is asking who am I who is asking who am I? Nanar ena ketkum nanar. Who am I who is asking who am I? Keneshitam patati preshitam Even before you assume the I, asking who is that I, who even assumes I. Keneshitam patati preshitam manakena prana pratama praiti yuktaha. Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. At whose will does the speech gets activated and speaks? Enlivened and directed by what luminous divine power? Indeed, do the eyes and the ears engage in their functions? Means the life image. Who forms the life image? Who allows the inner verbalization, first verbalization to start? A man who is caught in his inner image lives his whole life in prison. That's a life imprisonment, I tell you. No other punishment can be worse than getting caught in the inner image. Men always think lust is the biggest suffering. Even a womanizer knows lust is the biggest suffering. But I tell you, it is not lust. It is the ideas of male, female, and the suppression you carry in your muscle. That is the real suffering. Even the idea, if you are a male, you have to conquer. Most of the womanizers not even have so many women in their life for pleasure, because after some time they realize the pleasure does not get generated by constantly changing the external partners. Every womanizer realizes, but it is like a conquering. That stupid idea, if you are a male, you have to conquer, goes on torturing you, goes on punishing you, goes on putting your life in deeper and deeper hells. Exactly when you ask this question, like how my mind is moving towards its object, the inner image, the root pattern you generated will start losing power over you. It will start losing power over your thinking. This verse, if you internalize and start the pure questioning, don't do it like a technique, but do it like a decision making. This should be like your boardroom meeting. Boardroom meeting is not technique, ritual. The decisions you take, you are going to execute it. Let your seeking be strategy meeting, not ritual. Most of you think, whatever we discuss in board meeting stays in board meeting. What? Then why board meeting? Board meeting is not Las Vegas Strip. Whatever is done in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. But board meeting, whatever is done in board meeting becomes the reality. All you are seeking is most of the time like Las Vegas trip. Never becomes part of your real life. But seeking should be like a board meeting, strategy meeting. Once you conclude, you are going to execute it. Time-bound decisions. Do's and don'ts. Right, wrong. Listen, I tell you. Take this pure questioning as a sincere strategy board meeting. So whatever conclusions you arrive, start executing. Do not have the fear. You may forget your strategies and collapse. If you can discover it once, you can always reinvent it again. If you forget, let's reinvent again. Let's have board meeting once more. Let's develop the strategies. Let's start living. If you ask these questions, right strategies for life will evolve. Pure questioning evolves right strategy. Whenever people ask me, Swamiji, what should we do after the inner awakening? Come on, bring more and more completion into you. Take next 6 months as a completion project. Every person involved in your life, you will complete with them. Every situation, you will handle it with completion. Yourself or others, more and more and more completion. More and more and more completion. More and more and more completion. Fill your life with more and more completion. Attend every day satsang, because that will bring not only completion, again and again you will be reminded. You do not need to remind yourself. I am here to remind you. Satsang is nothing but continuous support by me after inner awakening for all of you. After inner awakening, continuous support for me. Continuous support from me for you is satsang. Keneshitam patati preshitam manakena prana pratama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshushrotram kavudevo yunakti. This should be today's Vakyarthasada subject. Subject for today's Tarka, Vakyarthasadas. Pure questioning as life strategy mating. End of the Vakyarthasadas, conclusions you all arrived. You should note down and start applying that as a life strategy. Your Vakyarthasadas is not Las Vegas trip. You try to forget it, hide it, as quickly as possible, as much as possible. No. It is strategy board meeting. It should be executed till the end. With this, for all the inner awakening participants, take this as a message. Infuse completion in your every action, thinking, words. Make this as a next 6 months project. More and more and more completion. Completion with others, completion with yourself. In every step bring completion. Completion will bring integrity. Completion will bring authenticity. Completion will bring responsibility. My own ashram land, just because the mango trees were leased, I did not pick up a mango and eat. No, it is leased. Call the person who got the lease and ask his permission and get one. The fellow who took the lease literally cried. He literally fell at my feet and cried. What is this, Swamiji? It's yours and you leased it. You have all the right to have one. I said, no, that is not integrity. I learned this lesson from Ramakrishna. When somebody brought mango from the roadside tree, which actually belongs to that house owner, Ramakrishna says, no, I can't touch this. There is stealing in it. The fellow goes and finds out, actually the tree is in his property. Even though it's outside the compound, the land belongs to the owner. So the tree belongs to the owner. So he plucked from the tree without asking the owner. Not only Ramakrishna did not touch it, he said, there is stealing in it, give it back. Completion will bring you tremendous integrity. It will bring you tremendous authenticity. It will bring you tremendous responsibility. All these are powers. Life with a responsible feeling is a power. There are tons of donkeys living in the human body. They don't feel responsible. If you want to be like that, then you can also be without responsibility. Responsibility is a power, not just work. It's a power. Enriching is a power, not a sacrifice. Understand? Enriching is a power, not sacrifice, not service. It's a power. All the 4 powers will be brought to you. Vak Shakti, Mano Shakti. Vak Shakti is experienced through integrity. Mano Shakti is experienced by authenticity. Buddhi Shakti means tremendous strength in your intelligence, is experienced by responsibility. Jiva Shakti, the power of life. Jiva is experienced by enriching. Vak Shakti, Mano Shakti, Jiva Shakti, Buddhi Shakti and Jiva Shakti. Vak Shakti is experienced through integrity. Mano Shakti is experienced by authenticity. Buddhi Shakti is experienced by responsibility. Jiva Shakti is experienced by enriching. From now onwards, talk all these as four powers, not just four tattvas. Somehow integrity, authenticity means it is like a rules you have to follow. It always comes with an understanding and connotation. No. It's a power you need to manifest. Vak Shakti, Mano Shakti, Buddhi Shakti, Jiva Shakti. It's the four powers you have to manifest. Learn how to manifest it by pure questioning. With this, I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.